All right, let's get this finale on out the way. The Housewives of Atlanta. This is the reunion, part 3, season 17. All right, so we pick up where we left off with the K Michelle package, basically, okay? And this whole plot that Todd cooked up to bring us all the bullshit, okay? Well, bring K the bullshit because she was just basically letting all this background noise, people that are, I guess, affiliated with people on the show, okay, we'll say. So we break it down into 3 parts because we got K Michelle and Portia, okay? So the whole thing with the plot with her was with the whole Nosh thing because it was like, okay, he telling me these types of stuff, so I'm listening to him, and then getting to know her, and then she doing stuff on the sly. So it's like I don't know if she's trying to bring stuff up or so I'm trying to jump ahead of it. So examples would be like, she talk about the oysters and ooh, is they fresh or not, so she thinking in her mind, well, oh, so she must know about the whole rumors and stuff about me and my hot pocket or whatever, right? So she trying to be funny and talk about my stuff and this and that. Which it wasn't the case because the girls was like, okay, we didn't even know nothing about this. Like that's so, that was all up in your head. Okay, so her and Portia can squash that. Her and Drew, Kay and Drew. When the whole black thing was, it was like, okay, like off camera, I guess before they even started filming, somewhere along the line, she knew of black or knew maybe that somewhere he was going to get bought up. Okay. And this is from the person that was suing him. Remember that whole little lawsuit he got going on? Some, she mutual friends with people. So this person is the one that's feeding K Michelle all these things, right? Basically, they gonna bring up the whole black situation with you, talking about him and all this stuff. So Kay like, okay, trying to jump ahead of stuff, look in her DMs, notice that, oh, well, I might have said hey or something to him at some point. Cool. I don't know the man. Then Drew come around with her camera phone, he on a hey and all this stuff. So had to be nice and polite, professional, like just to play into it. Hey, how you doing? Woo, woo, woo. And Drew just taking it like, oh, well, I kind of thought y'all knew each other. It looked real friendly and comfortable and this and that. And I guess maybe he must have told her that he slipped in the DMs or whatever is how that happened. So K Michelle was like, okay, so that's how that whole happened because background noise, people telling me this and that. You bringing him around, so woo, light bulb popping off. Plot against me. So that's how we got to there. So they ended up squashing that off because okay, I do like the banter that we got going on because Drew, you be taking me there, okay? But the banter, I guess, is fun because we can keep it light or we can go there. But bottom line, with her career and things like that, Kay don't wish no ill will. So cool. Okay. And then what else did K Beef have with? Was it with Angela? No, I think it was just them. And so pretty much K Michelle just was like, yeah, so she can apologize to everybody because it was all this misconstrued confusion stuff that she had all warped up in her mind. That's how the plots and the schemes is coming against her. Okay. We do kind of jump. Was it Shamia kind of jumped in a little bit here because for her in this, which had to tie into Portia again, how is it Shamia trying to have her back or something? I guess she was basically trying to say, but because and it was some lies and things being said that people were saying that Shamia was saying, but it wasn't true. I guess adding to this confusion when it comes to the ladies that it wasn't, she didn't want to take or have any blame for any of those type stuff and whatever. I don't know. Whenever Shamia kind of jumped into any of this stuff, it was a little bit like, man, what? Almost. But because it is kind of like a lot of background stuff that's not necessarily prone to the show, which a lot of this reunion was, if you think about it, a lot of background stuff is what made the drama of the show, but it's confusion because it's not what we seen. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna jump into Shamia in a minute because we do got to get to her and the whole trip to what was it, Texas and Cynthia and all that stuff, and yeah. So because that's where people was talking about. Okay, yep, we're gonna get there. So is Kelly a rebound BFF for Shamia? And of course she's like, no, that's just ridiculous. Then the next question will be, well, you be talking all this smack about the freaking frack, but then you go hire Phaedra to be your attorney to help you out with your divorce and things like that, or post divorce stuff. And she's like, well, me and Phaedra have actually started to get to know each other off camera, so we are friendly or whatever. And she goes into the whole thing about how she only had to, she didn't get it for free. She did pay her team like $10,000, this and this and that. And of course, Phaedra's like, well, it was supposed to be like 60,000, but it's a friendly discount. And she's like, okay, whatever, discount, fine, but money's was paid, and it's not like they had to do a lot of work. Oh, well, I mean, we did have to do a lot of work. Well, I already had an attorney before that, and I paid her like $20,000, and she did like a whole bunch of work. So you guys basically have to, you just use all what she already did. Oh, no, we didn't use any of that. We just we started all over and did everything from scratch. And so, it was a little back and forth there or whatever. But the whole thing was just to say, like, listen, me and her is actually cool, so that's why I hired her. And helping me or not for pro bono or not, listen, it's all for the divorce things, and that's just what it is. We cool. Phaedra did feel a little type of way for Kelly calling her, the freaking frack thing in her confessionals. Freaking frack, whack, blue, 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 all in her confessionals and things when her and Shamia having a side conversations. But, like I said, Phaedra is a little slighted, but it is what it is. We are getting to know each other. We are actually business people now, and she could have, I've been helping her even with her restaurants and stuff, other than like more than Pinky or something over there sitting next to her. And of course Pinky like, girl, nope, because I actually have been helping her out. So zoop zoop zoop. And before we get into this whole back and forth, the next question. All right, so Shamia and her rum bum thing, we know did not come to fruition. She had to put the kibosh on that bloop because, as she puts it, the people she was trying to work with, it's like a whole family business type thing, and the head father in charge is just not trying to budge on nothing. So maybe she can do it somewhere else. She just can't do it there. Kelly, with her location closing, her little chicken and waffle spot, she taking it in stride because as we thought it was only her second location, come to find out it was her third. So, listen, you live and you learn. We know how businesses go, especially when it comes to food. Not that easy to do. So she stretched herself too thin on that one. It didn't work out. Lesson learned. Move on. So we try to ask Drew about why she's showing up at people businesses, showing at their clothes and stuff on social media, but she all about this women empowerment and, sisterly. But girl, you be shady at the same time. That's why, I can't really get with Drew like that, because it's always she's too contradictory. Like, she always contradicts herself, saying one thing and then you do the other. Like, girl, is it Uchiwali or what? Like, but anyway, they end up going into this whole back and forth, her Drew versus Kelly, which kind of turns into this Drew versus Angela, okay? Because, Angela been butting in her 2 cents every now and again when she can get it, when she can, right? So they going through this whole thing, and you broke, and you this, and this, and that. But listen, I ain't gonna lie. Angela, eating her up. Eat. I'm sorry, a little bit shortcake. It was strawberry with lots of whipped cream, child. And Andy said, listen, we can't handle this no more. Y'all, we do got to move on to the next thing, okay? Please. Anyways, Kelly with her accounting and stuff, and her budget, she was saying how, she does have a place at the time. She was looking for to rent for just like, 2 weeks or so span. Which Shamia ended up offering her little spot, which was thank you, thank you, thank you, grateful, whatever, but she's cool. All that is all grateful. When it comes to, hold on, what was the next thing? Let me see. Oh yeah, the teeth. Why did she let Jarvis buy her the teeth or pay for the teeth instead of paying for some other bills? And she said, I mean, whoever said that he didn't. I mean, they just highlighted that he gave me the teeth, but I ain't gotta tell y'all the other stuff that he be buying for me. I mean, come on now. And then let's be honest, y'all think he really ain't paying for nothing else? And I don't even know if I even said that we saw Jarvis on part 1. Because he popped up. So he ain't in the whole mask no more. And I forget his name. Did we get his whole name? And then the whole t-shirt thing. Remember, she wore the whole Tom Ford t-shirt in the confessional. I mean, if she was on a budget at a time, it makes sense. Did it land necessarily for the fans or whatever, people in the fashion world? I don't know. Not necessarily. That's what you said. She was like, I'm trending. Whether it's for the good reason or the wrong reason, I was trending. Okay. And like I said, I didn't really mind it. Cool, fine. I got it. But it would have landed, like I said, if it was more like a Jenna Lion. Like, it would have landed. Alright, so the whole thing with the whole room was dirty. When it came to the fans, it came off that Shamia and Kelly was dragging it out way too much. And, it was just being a little bit too extra when it came to, we ain't going to dinner, but y'all was gonna sit down there by the pool and kiki or whatever. Okay, fine. And then eventually come up at some point, whatever. Because that was K Michelle thing too. I ain't had no makeup on or something, that's why she didn't come out. But then she eventually came out. I don't know if they're gonna ask her that question or not, but so her and Cynthia do have this whole little back and forth because for Shamia, I mean, it was like we did tell her that it was dirty and all this stuff. Cynthia, she was trying her hardest to fix it, everything. And they wasn't trying to be, super bitchy about the situation. But I guess maybe for them, it was the way that Cynthia was taking it so harsh about how they was acting. I don't know. But either way, this whole back and forth, listen, they both was being extra, to be honest, for me, because I was looking at Cynthia when we was watching this. I'm like, really, Cynthia, I wouldn't have been that mad. Like, stop saying the room is dirty. Like, girl, tell them bitches to go fix it, and it's gonna be fixed, and then that's gonna be it. The fuck. So they both, and then for y'all, right, y'all could have just came up anyway, splash the splash. You know how y'all could have did it. Freshened up in the dang sink and brought your asses up to the dinner. But you didn't. So for me, like I said, I'm side-eyeing both you and Cynthia. But for this, Shamia didn't have no beef with the Cynthia whole situation. Cynthia, like she said, I fixed it as best as I could. It was y'all was being ungrateful. So a little bit of sad news. Shamia, no baby. She did do the whole embryo transfer thing with the surrogate, but unfortunately she did miscarry. And as we all know, that was the last boy for her that she had on ice. And the question is now, like, what do you do? Do you continue or do you not continue to pursue to have this boy? Which leads Andy to ask the question, because a lot of viewers, like I said, been looking at Gerald like, he kind of forcing this on her. And for me, I never got that, because she ain't never said that, for one. He ain't never said that, for two. And he ain't on here enough to express anything for us to get anything out of him, for us to even have that opinion on that. So I don't know how y'all picked whatever y'all picked out from whatever she was saying, like she described it. It was just something that, we got married. We said we're going to have a lot of kids. We got 2 so far. Of course, we can at least go up to 4, 3 or 4, right? Or 4 or 5. I don't know how many she was trying to reach, but, 3, 4 seems about reasonable. But he was not forcing her to have the boy or nothing, like, so that's what she kind of want to let everybody know. Like, it was more, the pressure was coming from her because she's a wife. So as a wife, what you want to do? Get him ass some damn babies. That's what you made for. That's kind of the job, right? But whatever. So will she try again? I don't know. We'll have to see. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, so it's Angela's turn. The fans is here finally. Fangie, woo, go get yours. Let me see what else she got going on. Listen, what else Angela got going on? Her and her daughter are cool. It's a family when it comes to her whole thing with the marriage that her daughter has with her friend. It was more of which. See, that's why I don't know why she didn't explain this on the show. It's no beef with the daughter or the wife. The wife used to live there and all this stuff, so everybody know each other already. It's the wife's family. It don't get along with Angela's family. That is where the riff is coming into, okay? And when it comes to the kids, like, as we saw, little Avon was peeping down the damn stairs. Yeah, Angela saw, like, dang, that little boy, he already know, like I said. So, she just wanted everybody to be on the same page, pretty much. We all family, so we all got to know what's going on, even the dang little ones, all right? But he knows, so it is what it is. And not them asking Portia what she feel about the whole situation with Angela's daughters and stuff like that. Like, Portia only been gay for 5 minutes. She don't know nothing about nothing. But, I can see both sides or whatever. Amari actually been gay since 12, so Angela had no problem with this, with the whole people thinking she was homophobic and all that stuff. Like, no, that wasn't really the case. That's something different. Like, they've been close about it. She gave her coming out cookies and all this stuff. Of course, Portia got her 2 cents going on. And then, I forgot all about Noelle, Cynthia's daughter. She is part of the LGBTQ2 boom booms. So, support all over the goddamn cast. Yeah, and then when the whole thing with the girl getting married behind her back is like, yeah, I wanted her to live first. Like, you just go ahead, do this. You got a whole bunch of stuff to do first before you just don't jump into a goddamn marriage. And then you jump into the marriage and you realize, like, dang, this is kind of like some work. Duh. I mean, not like it wasn't work before, but yeah, now it's like, real. So it is what it is. Everybody cool though. And so Pinky asked Angela her viewer question about who's the girl in my basement? Where you get that room from? And I guess Angela like, well, I mean, because, Angela asking questions about people around the world while she trying to act like she don't be doing research on people. Nigga, you were doing research on people. But okay, see why we just sliding that right past that. That's what we need to be asking Angela. Why is you looking people up? Okay, why you going around town asking about folks? Why we ain't asking Angela this? But anywho, she just heard about the rumors that Pinky dipped in the Lady Pond. So, okay, and heard that maybe she kept one a little bit longer than she was supposed to. And, of course, Pinky like, well, I mean, I told y'all that I was gay or whatever. But ain't nobody in my damn basement, so what the hell? All right, so it's Shamia's turn, finally. Oh, my goodness. And, still a ball of confusion a little bit, but she on her apology tour, okay? Because pretty much she came into this group trying to have a clean slate from last year, right? Like, ooh, I'm going to come in, I'm going to be nice to all the girls, we're going to get to know each other, we're going to be friends. But then somewhere along the line, I just start to see, the little divide with the group. So then now the mess is starting again. And I'm trying to navigate what we got going on, but it seems like um, I can't win for lose because I can be apologizing or something, and then 1 minute, oh, when I'm backstabbing somebody, or the next minute now I'm being a lap dog for somebody, and then like the next minute, like, so it's always gonna be something when it came to me. So I just didn't, that's just kind of really didn't know what to do at that point. I guess that's kind of how she kind of fell into maybe the victim role, should we say? But she ain't saying that she is a victim or anything, but that's just kind of how she fell into that role. Because what am I doing now? I'm backed in the corner. So now I'm just doing anything at this point, which kind of was just saying all types of shit out her ass. And then there was some question about her taking accountability for all the mess that she has put herself in, which she does say, well, I mean, I think that, she thinks that she did, when it comes to, she tried to go down the line, like Drew, Angela, how it started from last year. She knows how it all started. So that's where, okay, I thought I apologized then for it. But then we flip around to the next thing, and then now you coming at me for something else. So I apologize for that. But then here's the next thing. And then for Drew, it was more like, well, I mean, you keep apologizing for stuff, but then you keep doing other stuff, I guess, at the same time. So what kind of apology is that? I don't know. Either way, they're just going back and forth because somewhere along the lines, it just wasn't landing, okay? But we do know the underline of them falling out has to do with Portia. I mean, that's the whole thing. That's what I'm like. I feel like we really can't really get much out. We ain't going to get really too, I don't know. We'll have to fix this next season because we couldn't really get too much out of this season because of her and Portia. Their problem is affecting everybody, and they won't talk about what's going on, and it's just stupid and it's confusing. But anywho, from there we roll into Angela, because then Angela, I'm trying to get back on the right track with you, right? We apologizing to each other, we're trying to not backstab each other with the whole husband thing. But then you came back with me with the job, and then you came back with me, oh, well, you sleeping with these players, oh, and then, oh, you took pictures with this person, this and that and that. So just because you see me with somebody, or I took a picture with somebody, or this and that, you the one who keep making up these rumors and spreading these lies and say, well, oh, you doing this and you doing this and this and this and that. So now me and you back to how we was square one. So that's why we can't ever get back on track, right? So of course they're going to that whole back and forth, back and forth. And then of course, what was the next question? Has to do with, still think her and Angela, because of course this leads into not only sleeping with the players and things like that, George. Now Walter though came up in the picture. I remember Walter, Kenya Obu. No. The whole thing with the party. Remember Shamia had the whole Halloween party, and Drew showed up as Beyonce Cowboy Carter. And out the blue, oh, everybody come outside, we got a surprise. So we thinking, oh, Gerald don't did something for Shamia or something, or Shamia had a surprise, but Shamia like, bitch, I don't know what the fuck going on. Did Gerald do something for me? It's a whole horse with, is his name Terry? I don't even remember his name. But whoever that dude was for Drew, and so they, like, why you act like you ain't know he was gonna bring that dang on horse? And he was dressed like Jay-Z. Like, come on, that was the whole thing. I didn't know he was going to do that. I was just as surprised as everybody else. I couldn't believe it. Like, whatever. But we all know that Shamia got a bill for that, and she did send it to Drew. And, whether Drew played it or not, which she did not, but, the whole thing was the purpose of was just an apology, because what the hell? I mean, even if you didn't know that he was sending like this and all this stuff, you could have at least called me the next day and said, okay. So, what had happened was, but it is what it is. Oh, the whole Walter thing, that was because Drew said she thought it was Walter or somebody who had arranged such things, and that's where Andy asked, was it Kenya Walter? Because I was like, who the heck is Walter? But so that was just kind of funny real quick. Like, dude, blast from the past. I miss Kenya. Don't y'all miss Kenya? Come. Okay, so Shamia and Portia. I will say thank you guys. I did not have a whole little back and forth argument going on here. Because I believe they probably got most of that stuff out anyway behind the scenes between each other and the texts and all the other stuff that they do with each other. But regardless, they say this is the first time that they've seen each other since, I guess, Scotland, or is that the last time they all was together? Scotland. Shmi. Oh, yep, because she didn't go to the party. Yep, she didn't go to the Halloween party. So, yep, so it's probably the first time they really seen each other. Blah, blah, blah. But this is where they're going to leave their friendship. This is where we're going to be. We know that it's over. Once we started talking about our mamas, we just kind of crossed the line of never return at this point, because now we're going into business, and it ain't our business for real, for real. That's our mama business. So what they got to do with this? You know what I'm saying? With that, the kids. Now we drive and drop, Pilar, can I see her? Can I not see her? That whole little spiel. Is you using her for this? You trying to get clout, all that stuff. Nope. Boom, cut that. And of course, Portia sitting there, a firm face. I don't want to talk about my mama. Scoop, cut that. I don't want to talk about my kid. Boop, cut that. All right, cool. We can do that. Because the underlying thing is them. That's what we're saying. Like, all this is boiling up to this point of no return. We didn't have to go here, but it was just a build up, okay? And I guess difference from last year to this year. So last year was the main fallout. So that's where we got to see the whole kind of bickering a little bit between each other, the small behind our back talks and the small this and that, and the side eyes, but I don't want to say nothing for real, for real. That whole thing, and Shamia being sad and putting her frustrations on Portia out on the other girls or whatever, right? So for the most part, they understood. But then when it comes to this year, it's like, okay, well, we kind of thought that maybe I was a little bit over a little bit. But they not understanding that this really is a damn real friendship, that we don't know each other like all our lives. So it's not like the rest of you hoes where we just met each other or whatever type deal. This is real. So now, as we're trying to move forward and learn to coexist, this is where the fuzziness is, because it's almost like, do we want to make up or do we not want to make up? They figured out that they don't want to make up, okay? Even though, say we still got love for each other, right? It's still there. But in the moment, forget that. Nope, you went low, I went low. You went low, I went to hell. You can't go no further than that, okay? Unless you want to go where you go see the devil straight at his office. That might be the hottest spot. But that's just how it's gonna have to be. We can coexist. Of course, might see each other in passing, we might not. When it comes to the show, obviously we gotta work together. We gotta be around each other. So we can do as we was doing. I'll sit over here, she'll sit over here. I'll talk to Kelly, she'll talk to Phaedra. And we was cool. It's the part where we get in the middle is where the problem is gonna lie. That's why I'm like, I don't know how next season is gonna go. But that middle part has to be fixed. Alright, so that's how we're going to end the reunion and the season, where Andy gives everybody their little final thoughts of what they learned or whatever throughout the from their season. Everybody say their little speak their piece and this and this and that. Shemia does give some hugs over to the couch across the way, because Cynthia said me and her was cool, which they was. It's just somewhere along that trip where they kind of broke it off when it comes to that messy house room situation. But they'll get back on track. So she ended up giving her a hug. But since she was already over there, might as well give Angela, Drew, and Phaedra a hug. And we're gonna skip Portia. So I'm like, okay, see, right there. We supposed to be moving on the right track. And then you do some shit just like that. Okay, fine, whatever. Let it go. Um, Portia, Andy let her have the last word. I don't even know what the hell she said. Who cares? But like he said, we do want to start the next season off kind of in this little good space, almost this good space, because like I said, Shamia, you just almost ruined it with that, almost. But start the new season in a more positive light versus like a weird shadow cast over the cast, because that's all it was. It was just a weird energy going on, but because they knew it was tension between Portia and Shamia. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they could be on the other sides of the table, but it's the middle. How is the middle gonna work? I think it works, but it doesn't, because it's like an elephant in the room, to where we arguing and stuff, but then when we bring up them in the argument, now we either have to walk on eggshells about it or just shut it down completely, because Portia, well, I ain't gonna say nothing, I forget her. And then Shamia, well, I ain't gonna say nothing because she just, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying with the middle part. It's gonna get a little tricky there. So it's either, I think, one or the other. Most likely you want to keep Portia, she the vet, and then boot Shamia off because, okay, you didn't work. I think Pinky can come back again. Y'all have to give somebody a second chance, okay? So Pinky can come back. Kelly, this was your second chance, and I mean, she can come back as long as she can get to know more of the group. Like, she just got to mingle more with the rest of the crew. K. Michelle is a box of coconut crackers. I don't know. She's a little crazy there. So I don't know. It's like, do she fit or do she not fit? She fit, but she just got to figure out, like Andy said, you got to learn how to reel some things in. That's all when it comes to this group. It's not like the other people that you was dealing with before on the Love and Hip Hop and all that stuff. We don't do that here, okay? Because actually, you could fight over there. We don't do that here. So just reel it in just a little bit, and I think you might got it, okay? Because you're married, boom. You live in Atlanta, boom. And you got something going on for yourself. That's all you need. So hopefully she can navigate this on the next season without no plots against her. Okay. Cynthia, cool friend of, we know ain't no smoke with Cynthia. Angela can come back, but she just can't be lying. Drew, I could take or leave Drew, honestly. If she come back, fine. If she don't, fine. Like, yeah. And then Phaedra, kind of the same with her. If she come back, fine. If she don't, fine. Because Phaedra really don't do much anyway. I want Kenya to come back, and I kind of want Candy to come back. And I want Phaedra and Candy to have a sit-down, mob wife style, and just hash it on out. And then we can get everybody back on track. Look, and then Nene, is Nene supposed to come back? I will take a Nene. Somebody. Sheree? What? Well, she ain't gonna say. Either way, next season should be okay. This one was not bad. And yeah, this is the end. So I guess we'll have to catch y'all next year when they get back to it. Atlanta Girls, season 18. Woo, it's been a whole long journey. And look where we at. So, like I said, it's okay. Hopefully maybe they can add one more new girl or two. A new girl and a friend of. And I think we might got something here. All right. And I'll catch y'all for the next time. Bye.